Welcome to the latest Seahawks Draft Blog live stream. Rob State and Adam Nathan and Robbie Williams here. And I honestly never thought, because I don't know, because it just felt as if it was the only thing that it could happen was when the LOB was there and you had the perfect team. I honestly never thought I'd be introducing Adam and Robbie for a conversation after the Seahawks have won the NFC Championship. I can't believe it. Robbie, I think back to when we started doing these, and I was in the other room, and it was COVID, and Zoom had just come out, and we'd pre-record these things and complain about Pete Carroll and talk about the Russell Wilson likelihood of a trade and all of this. And here we are, man. Like, the Seahawks are going back to the Super Bowl, and they're not just going back to the Super Bowl; they're going back to play the Patriots. You know, with the chance to get some real closure there. So. We're going to talk about it. Adam's going to stick with us for a bit because obviously it's 3:18 in the morning here. Get your super chats in. Subscribe if you haven't. I am going to have to put a plan together for the next 2 weeks for what we're going to do on the blog and the stream, but you won't want to miss any of it, so make sure you subscribe. Robbie, how do you feel? The Seahawks are back in the Super Bowl, man.
I'm a mess, fellas. I'm a mess. I'm stoked, man. My buddy Jesse, who I went to the Seahawks game, you can hear it in my voice already. Jesse messaged me because we went to the Super Bowl when it was in New York, and we were 17 rows up in the end zone, and it was phenomenal. 43-8, one of the best, best experience ever. And he texted me right away, and I had to go find the video, and I, just texting my friends and all these things, and feels good, man. It feels good. I'm fired up. I'm fired up.
Yeah. Adam, how do you feel, man?
Do you guys want me to do like half an hour filibustering so you guys can just sort of this is great.
Yeah.
But the words that we will say, right? Whatever we're going to say in the next hour, none of it is going to sum up what you guys have just put on screen in the last 30 seconds. Because ultimately, the reason you do the blog, Rob, the reason you got Robbie involved, I'm so honored that you guys have let me into your little circle of trust that you do this with. The whole point is the last 4 hours that we've been through with your mates and the community, and the comments are flying, and it's 3:20 in the morning. I was like, I'll probably go to bed. And I thought, well, no, because we just got to the Super Bowl, and I've spent hundreds of hours streaming and watching the Seahawks when I could have gone to sleep. If I'm not going to stay up now, then when am I ever going to do it? And this is what it's all about. There's just nothing better. And you just got to just enjoy the hell out of it, because bloody deserve it. Bloody deserve every bit of this. And it's just great to be a part of it.
The weird thing is kind of watching that game, even when they were lifting the trophy, I kind of half expected they were going to force them back out onto the field for one last play. It just, I honestly don't know how they've won the game, because watching it, they had no answers on defense, did they? There was nothing. They weren't making any plays. They were up and down the field. And in the end, I kind of thought they were going to have to make a big play on defense. There was going to have to be some huge turnover or something to just sway it. And I was kind of, when they were in the red zone, I kept thinking about that Cam Chancellor play against the Panthers. Was it going to take something like that? And in a really weird way, I was kind of quite relaxed when they were in the red zone again, a bit like when Sherm had the tip. There's no real reason for that. There's no explanation for that. I just was quite calm about it. And in the end, their plays that they called on 3rd and 4th down for that turnover on downs were not very good. And the Seahawks were up to the task, and they got the job done, and they got that turnover on downs. I can't believe that was enough. And the reason that was enough was because of Sam Darnold and that offense and Clint Kubiak. That's why. The unbelievable performance of that offense. By the way, the Seahawks won the game. They lost the defensive coordinator tonight because Tom Brady spent the whole game. What's the word that Americans like to? Glazing, like Clint Kubiak, because what an offensive performance that was. But Robbie, to hear in the build up to this game again, all of the oblique talk and all of the Darnold talk and all that. I mean, he played that game. If that was Allen or Mahomes or Stafford, people would be saying that was a legendary performance. Like, that was unbelievable what he did tonight. No turnovers. He only had one pass that had a sniff of being close to, well, that's a bit, well, that close is a bit, nah, that was unbelievable. Well done.
What a way to exercise your demons, right? Come out in the NFC Championship game. You know, all the talk was Sam Darnold this. I mean, I've heard it so many times in so many different podcasts, so many different channels, you know, everywhere. Well, Sam Darnold, you know, he's going to be this. And I mean, to the point where, I mean, honestly, last week I was questioning, like, can he hang? Is this going to be a thing? Like, I thought, I mean, even our podcast preview, I was like, it's gonna rest on, you know, K9's, you know, shoulders. He's gonna have to carry the load on offense. And man, Sam Darnold came out and played lights out. He didn't look rattled. He threw some incredible balls. He took some hits and he just delivered. He delivered in the biggest stage on the biggest time. And he's gonna give us an opportunity to, not only did he exercise his demons, but he's going to give us an opportunity to rewrite the history with the Patriots, which should have never lost. So
yeah, I'm
a mess.
He's so unbelievably likable, Adam. Like, his interview afterwards on the field, and the inevitable question. It probably, if you're a journalist, you know, as a fan, you're probably taught, as a journalist, you're probably going to ask about the journey he's come on, and he kind of just got, I've not really been thinking about it. He is just so level-headed. He's just such a likable player, and it'll be amazing if he can go to Santa Clara of all places and lift the Lombardi Trophy now. But that was an unbelievable performance, wasn't it, Adam?
Yeah, look, my favorite thing in sport is watching when it's very obvious that someone has to make something happen for their team to win, and they go and do it. Whether that's team sport, individual sport, when it's on one guy who is going to be the story one way or the other, and they go and do it. It's one reason why, like, I love Patrick Mahomes so much, because there's been Super Bowls where the whole world has watched 15 walk out in a red jersey and knows that it has to go through him. And I'm not comparing Sam Darnold to Mahomes, obviously, but in terms of what he has had to do in the last month, week, 5 hours to elevate himself. And like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago, that I didn't think that he'd exercise his demons in the first Rams game, because you never know when something may have happened further down the line. He bloody has now. He's cemented himself into sort of a pantheon of Seahawks greats, however long he's here for now, with what he's done in the last month. And I'm so thrilled for him. And you're right, like, he comes across so well, and you could see in his eyes in his interviews that he was just sort of trying to take a second just to look around and see what he'd achieved, because it must have been a pretty tough road for him at times. So credit to him, and how lucky that we got to ride the coattails of his journey to where we're going.
Can I just say, though, what was my prediction for the game? It was 32-27. It was 1 point out. If only they'd have found a way to get that one extra point. Never mind.
You made me and Adam do a lot of math in that. Trying to figure it out.
Clearly, it was impossible for that scoreline to happen after all, but it was pretty close. It was a pretty close prediction. I just can't believe it. There were so many moments in the game where I'll come back to this one. We've got so many super chats. I will rattle through them. Robbie, if I know Adam's, understandably he's got a part. If you ever need to go, just send me a private message. I want to do the super chats justice, and I don't want to just rush through them. But when Reek Wood had that flag, and it was 4th down, and they're going to get the ball back and everything like that, and then they score a touchdown immediately on the next play, you just start to think. And then they kick the ball back to them, and then they're driving to take the lead. And you just have so many horrible thoughts, don't you? Yeah, like in my head, I'm thinking we're never going to forget that taunting flag. Like, he is going to be, like, this season is going to be remembered for that. Like, all of this great season is going to come down to a really stupid penalty. Thank God that's not true. Like, thank God we can just go, you stupid idiot. Now never do. Like, you only got one more game for us, Reed, because he ain't re-signing after that. Like, please do not do that in the next game. And oh my word, I'm so pleased for the team. Mike McDonald's speech on the podium was just freaking awesome, man. I just such a likable team, and I don't know how they've done it. How on earth is this team in the Super Bowl, Adam? Robbie, Adam, whoever wants to speak. Go for it.
It's I have to say I am pleased in a roundabout way for Woolen, because that could have been a pretty lonely place to be. Had they lost that game by 3 points, the rest of the game would have been thrown out the window, and that would have been seen rightly as like the turning point minute. And that would have probably taken years for him to people still talk about the Red Sox first baseman who he would have been in that level of figure. And so whilst I wasn't particularly pleased with what he did, I'm quite pleased he doesn't have to go through that. I'm also realized that I'm wearing a hoodie with my dog's face on it, so I quite clearly wasn't expecting to come on the show this evening. I would have prepared my outfit ever so slightly better. But hey, everyone gets that. We're having a party. We're all.
I love it, man. I mean, as a big dog person, I have two myself. I love the fact that you have a hoodie. My wife will love the fact that you have a hoodie with your dog on it as well. She'll probably want one herself after this. And by the way, after the game, I kept up the tradition of running upstairs in the early hours of the morning to wake my wife to tell her that we had won. And the last 2 times I did that, she absolutely hated everything about the fact that I run upstairs. And today she smiled and was happy about it. So there we go. So I've worn her down over the last 11 years. Yeah. I mean, Robbie, what were you thinking like when just through the Woolen stuff and like my head was going like, I don't think they're going to win. And then obviously they get the stop. And then you look at the clock and you think, there's 5 minutes there. Like, and can they just find a drive? Just find a drive, like for your life, just find a drive. And they did find a drive. Like, it didn't need to be a touchdown drive. It just needed to, they had only 25 seconds left. What a drive. Ballsy play calling on that drive. Throw in when, like, you could easily just played it safe to throw the football, to get the flag, to make some plays there. I mean, what a drive that was.
Yeah, with the Woolen thing, man, I tell you, I was absolutely shook on that. Not only did he drop the INT, then he got the flipping penalty for taunting, giving them the ball back, and then they attack him right away, and then he gives up the touchdown. I was just like, what a crazy series of events for that guy. And like, I was pissed. I mean, I was pissed. My first immediate thought was like, we just lost the game. And same thoughts were, he's never going to forget that. That's going to haunt him forever. And then it's going to haunt us forever, because that's something that we're going to talk about. And I just didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to talk about that play or Rick Woolen at all. I didn't want that to be something that like, if he wouldn't have done that. I'm so happy that it didn't. I'm so happy it didn't go that direction, because that would have been just a terrible, terrible way to end the season. And so then, for them to go out, did Clint Kubiak played like he was going for a head coaching job? Did he not? Like, he made some ballsy calls, and they worked. And I just, man, I'll tell you what, I'm so proud of this team. I'm so excited to be in this position and here with you guys and just like enjoying this moment. Like, how cool, man. Just how cool.
I mean, if you were a Raiders fan watching that, you'd be saying, get me Clint Kubiak.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking Tom Brady's finished his broadcast now. He'll have done his LFG player of the game or whatever he does at the end. He's probably given that. I imagine he's giving that to Sam Darnold. And then he'll be on the phone to Mark Davis saying, we found a guy. We're going to have to wait 2 weeks to go and get him. I have no idea what the Seahawks are going to do if when he leaves, but that's what they'll be saying. I mean, this is the thing, Adam, is you needed every bit of that today. Like, the defense needed to be carried. Like, think how many times if you'd have said, like, to most people, perhaps not so much the people who watch the Seahawks a lot, but if you'd have said to sort of outsiders and non-Seahawks fans, people in the media, whatever, pundits, who, if there's going to be a unit that needs to be carried somewhat in this game, what is it going to be? And it would probably be Seattle's offense. And yet it was the defense. They needed to be carried. They needed to be carried by a big special teams play, and then the offense scoring a touchdown immediately afterwards. They needed to be carried by Sam Darnold and Ken Walker and JSN and all of the people who contributed on offense, because they gave up 479 yards today. It was nearly another 500-yard game given up by the defense. And I don't know how Sean McVay has got the number of this defense to the extent he has. Today, I'm not going to spend any time talking about this after the next comment I'm going to make. But if there was ever any glaring evidence that you need to go and find a top pass rusher who can get quick wins, if you want to beat McVay and the Rams, there's your evidence. Like, this is 2 games now where he has just gone up and down the field on this team, and the pass rush has not been good enough. And the offense, when you needed the offense to carry the team, they managed to do it. they managed to do it, and that, Robbie, that's like the big thing, isn't it? Like it's just such a surprise to an extent, but a brilliant surprise.
Yeah, I'm really shocked by how like, man, we just had no answers. And I was hoping it was just kind of one drive, right? And then it just kept going. They did make some stops when they needed to, but McVay just had the number dialed. And he was fired up on the sideline, though. I don't think I've ever seen him that amped, like on a sideline for a Rams game. Like, I've never seen him like that. He was all in for this. So he was giving it everything. But stupid penalties and just not getting a pass rush. We could not get at like Darnold or I just his name just totally went my mind. Doesn't matter.
Darnold didn't get any sacks.
Just listen. I'm on cloud 9 right now. He had all day to throw. Right, he had all day to throw, and like we just couldn't get home and get him. So it was just a really frustrating watching that happen. But at the end of the day, we made the stops when they counted down in the red zone at the end. So take it.
Just a couple of things about Darnold. I've really grown to like Tom Brady's commentary over the last year, particularly. And one reason why I really like him this year, and particularly in the playoffs, is he's become much less varnished, and it feels like he's saying what he actually thinks. And that includes a lot of sort of ad-libbing, in the middle of a play, saying, oh, and oh my God, and he's done that. And he's not going to lie if he sees a quarterback doing something that he doesn't like. He's very quick to point out bad footwork, bad throw. And he was waxing lyrical about Darnold today. And, to have Tom Brady being like that about you in the playoffs, you've done something pretty bloody special. And yet he saved it for, the best, most important time of his career. And I was thinking in the week, just off the cuff, that 24 hours of Gino going and Sam Darnold coming in, I couldn't think of a better free agency move that anyone's made. If he ends up being the quarterback for the next 8-9 years, for the sake of argument, for what they paid, for what they basically got in return, they got more than they gave up. It's one of the greatest moves in NFL history. I don't think I've been that hyperbolic about saying that.
No, absolutely you're not, Adam, and all the more so given that half the world seemed to think it was a disastrous move. This is the thing, Robbie. Is like with most Super Bowl teams, like you have a collection of contenders, don't you? So at the start of the season, most people will have thought the Chiefs and the Bills and the Ravens and the AFC, and then in the NFC it would have been the Rams and possibly the Eagles because they won it last year, and some people still thought the Niners were going to do it, and they defied the odds with their injuries, stuff like that. Did feel a little bit more wide open in the NFC, I thought, but typically you have a list of contenders, and it's from that pool of contenders that you expect 2 Super Bowl teams to emerge. Now, the Patriots are a huge surprise. Like for them to be there already, and it's remarkable for them as well. And I have to say that these Patriots seem a lot more likable than the Patriots we lost to 11 years ago. You almost have to respect them quite a lot because they've achieved so much. But for this team, Robbie, like there wasn't like we predicted a third when me and you did a stream. And we predicted 13 wins. And if you're a 13-win team, you've got a chance. So we always felt they had a chance. But it feels really surreal, Robbie, to be sat here and thinking that everything that they did, like we talked about, what great offseason they had, that it's already culminated in being back in the Super Bowl. They're 4 quarters away from lifting a Lombardi trophy, and this being just it's a dream. I feel like I'm going to wake up any second now. And it's going to be the morning of that Niners game in week 1. And I'm going to come and meet you in the hotel. And we're going to walk down and watch the game. And I'm going to tell you about this great dream I had where they won 14 games and beat the Niners and the Rams in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. Like, it's just, even that, like the fact that they've beaten the Niners and Rams to get there is great as well, isn't it? Like, it's just, and then it's the Patriots, just that opportunity to, I don't think many of us, I'm sorry, I've kind of gone on about 6 topics we could have talked about in this one waffle that I'm doing here, but like of all the things, like if you'd have said after that horrible experience at the last Super Bowl that you're going to have to wait a while, but when you get back there, this team's going to be there waiting for you. Like if they beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl, Robbie, I don't know how I'm going to be. Like there's the sort of the 30-year-old me who lived through that is just gonna be. I don't know. Like it's just almost too. It's a film. I can't believe it.
Poetic justice. It'd be just perfect. It would be perfect to beat the Pats to get it back. But what a team to play in that moment again and get the opportunity to right a wrong. For me, I kind of think back when you're just talking about how we predicted the 13 wins, and you said last week, how we had how you kind of feel like a little bit of a homer when you're going through some of these things, like, it's just because I'm a Seahawks fan, I'm picking them to win, those kind of things. And, when we go through these motions and we pick the things, like half the time I feel that, like, am I just it's just because I'm a Seahawks fan, like I'm picking 13 wins, but like, did I actually believe that? I don't know. Right. But to go through that exercise and then get to this moment, because I certainly wouldn't have predicted that they would have made the Super Bowl this year. I think I was kind of like, they're a year away. They're missing one or two pieces. I mean, the fact that we're here in this moment, it's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah, it is. And it is, Adam. It's been an unbelievable job, hasn't it, to turn this around by the head coach in his second season. Like, it's amazing, really. You've got a head coach who's in his first season has taken the Patriots to the Super Bowl, and a head coach in his second season who's taken the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. And man, it's just I always say I think the only thing you can really ask for as a fan is to have faith in the people who are running your team. Coach, and in the case of the Seahawks and the NFL, GM, and then ownership, which is pretty much any sort of major sporting league, ownership is a big part of it as well. And so to sit here today and to have complete faith in all three facets of the people running the Seahawks organization is just such a bloody brilliant feeling. It's really good. And just everything about that, all of those interviews. I enjoyed Jodie's interview as well. I also particularly like the fact that she gave a shout out to all the 12s around the world. I was like waiting for that. And I was like, good. We do get a shout out at the end there because there's a lot of us and a lot of sleepless nights. And I don't know how I'm going to sleep tonight. I have to deliver a lecture tomorrow in about, in 12 and a half hours. I honestly, I just want to stay up all night and not go to bed. Like it's unbelievable, Adam. Like what a turnaround in a season, in one season. Because last season we were seeing a lot of the same issues that we'd seen in the past. They didn't make the playoffs. They've turned it around and now they're back at the bloody Super Bowl.
Yeah, look, I mean, Jodie really should back that up with a 6-figure super chat, if you ask me. She really wanted to prove how much she loved
how about 3 tickets? That'd be okay.
That'll do. Either or. We'll take either or. But yeah, like, I don't know if I said on the last show we did or if I was saying it to you guys, but you don't get to where we are now without A, alignment, and B, just so many decisions and them getting them all right. And even the ones they get wrong, writing them as quickly as possible. Ryan Grubb, the linebacker and safety combinations that they threw out at the start of last season that were a disaster, but they didn't piss about. They got rid and did it and started again, and they got Ernest Jones in. And like the decisions they've made from top to bottom, and you can just feel this level of alignment and chain of command and organization, everyone on the same page from top to bottom, right from the owner down to the 53rd man on the roster. Like that is how you win. And that's, I think, and we got so much stick at times for being critical, and maybe we were overcritical at times of legendary figures in the franchise. But I don't think we ever thought there was an alignment or a decision-making process that was making sense. And that was what was so frustrating between sort of 2017 and 2011. And I think now when you watch it happen, it almost strengthens my conviction that we were kind of right about that. And it wasn't acceptable. And the fact they've managed to turn it around with ultimately the same people in charge is hugely admirable and doesn't often happen. I think John Schneider's the first GM to ever take a different set of 53 players and a head coach to a Super Bowl, which is quite remarkable, really.
It really is. And, the ingredients for a Super Bowl team, the conventional wisdom will tell you that it's often a homegrown quarterback who, is a bit of inspired drafting. And then sort of just complete big names across the board, 6 or 7 blue chip players and all of that. And Robbie, it just feels like this is a legit example of a team where the sum is greater than the parts. Like it's just been so many times that like the group have come together to lift each other. And again, we're repeating it for the offense and the special teams to lift. I mean, like just little things that are probably going to get forgotten in this game. The punting was unbelievable tonight. The punter had the game of his life as well. Like, and do you know what? That last little chance that the Rams had, and he got the punt spot on at the end. Like if he'd have kicked that through the end zone, they're back to the 20 or whatever it is. Or, it's the directional punting that was great. The recovery of the fumble on the punt, the muff punt. Oh man, it's just every little thing you can go through, and just what a team! What a team! And it's great to be able to watch a team, isn't it? Like every sort of thing, and be proud of every aspect of the team. And also, Robbie, I think it's really refreshing that this is so different than the last Super Bowl team that Seattle had. Like they were brash, they were in your face. It was big, it was bold, it was like big names. This is such a different team, and I like that. I like that it's different than last time.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you're saying. Every facet of the game, the offense, the defense, and the special teams all play a huge part in this team, and they all make plays that win us games, right? And Dickerson tonight with his kick. I mean, what's funny about that play too? I thought they were going to take the penalty and move 5 yards back so we could have more room to kick, and then take the time all the way down. They snapped it right at 1. I was like, oh, they're going for it. So I don't know if that just keeps the clock running more or what, but I thought that was an interesting play move there as well. And you're right that the kick was phenomenal. I mean, he put it then the 10-yard line, and I mean that you can't ask for much better than that. And yeah, this team is so likable, and so many players step up and they work. I mean, I just love kind of what happened last year or last week, and Leonard Williams talking to Gray Zabel, and getting an idea from a rookie to do, like, why are you doing this? Like, you take the inside towards the center, and like just to have him do that, and like like the team's just gelling together. It just feels very different. Like you're right. Like the LOB had like the LOB, right? I mean, that's what they stood on. Wilson and Lynch, but man, this team just feels it's great. This is just a really fun team to watch. I'm really enjoying this.
Can we in the 15 minutes that we've got left with Adam, can we shift it along to, because there's going to be plenty of time to talk about the Patriots, and I'll be DMing you both and saying, how can we fit like little conversations in the week? And we've got 2 weeks, so I'm going to be seeing what we can do, because isn't that just great as well? I'm sorry, like just to think we get 2 weeks now just to think about the game, and to know that we're there, and they're beating the Rams and they're beating the Niners, and they're there, and we get to watch the final game of the season, and the Seahawks are playing in it. I'm
not actually convinced you having 2 weeks to think about this is going to prove the greatest thing, Rob. I know you're saying it now, but I'm not convinced that's going to be the most terrific thing for you. But we're all in a good mood, so it's okay now.
Well, do you know what? When they got to the Super Bowl in the 2013 season, I remember saying to my wife, I just want them to get there. Like, and there was a bit of stress about the fact they were playing the Niners as well in the NFC Championship game. And then we went to, our son had just been born. Like, he was only a few months old at the time, because he was born on the day that the Seahawks played the Texans in the 2013 season. I was watching the game on my phone in the hospital. And then they kicked me out because I had to leave at a certain time. And I went home into an empty house and watched the end of that Texans game. And I don't think I've celebrated a win as much as that, because the last sort of 24 hours have been such a messed my head up so much, because it was a complicated birth, and the Seahawks won, and it is one of the top 5 favorite sporting moments I've ever had. They won that game, but we went to, I don't know how I got onto that. We went to Edinburgh after we won the NFC Championship game, and for a break, and we went to Edinburgh Zoo, and I can remember turning to, I don't know why I remember this, I turned to Steph at one point and I said, do you know, I said I was just happy to get to the Super Bowl. It's like, I don't feel that way anymore now. We've got to win. Like, we really need to win. We need to win at least one of these things. And then the year later, I was like, got to win the second one. Like, they've got to, like, this is the chance to be a dynasty. And you're probably right, Adam, that over the course of the next week, remind me of this conversation, and I'll be honest about whether I've changed my tune and have got stressed or worried about anything. So I am a world-class worrier, an overthinker. But I am legitimately happy that they've got there. I think it's hard to judge the Patriots based on what we saw today because they played in a snowstorm and the game was completely ruined by the weather. And they are undefeated on the road this year, which is a bit odd. Like they've won every game they've played away from Gillette. And the other thing is they lost to the Raiders in week 1, which is like just a really weird thing to think. Adam, I think a lot of people are going to predict the Seahawks are going to win this Super Bowl. And that would be sort of the easy pick to make. But how do you feel about this game? And feel free to say it's too early and you don't know.
No. Look, I'm not going to go back on the prediction that I made a month or so ago, or where I said that I will accept the Seahawks losing to a world-class unicorn quarterback. And I think I named Matt Stafford and Josh Allen in that. I said, if we lose to them, fine. And I might have to say, Stafford today was unbelievable. Like that drive for the Devontae Adams touchdown with the 2 long passes. I mean, I was watching that thinking, if they beat this bloke, that is unbelievable because that is the best drive I think I've ever seen the Seahawks give up. So, and if we'd lost to that, I would have taken it. And if we had lost to Josh Allen in the Super Bowl, I'd have taken it. They have to win. And I think my mind says that I think they're going to win. I think they're the better team. Look, it's sport. The reason sport's the best is that the best team can lose sometimes. But I'm going to stick with my convictions and say that, yeah, Drake May is not the one to beat the Seahawks, in my opinion. If he does, fair play. But this needs to be ours now.
Yeah, I like Drake May. I find him likable as well. But I hope he has many opportunities to get back to the Super Bowl and maybe win one in the future. Not this time. Robbie, how do you feel about it? Because the Pats have got some good players, but they're a bit like Seattle in a way. They're kind of like there's a lot of unsung heroes. They're not loaded with big names. They are a well-coached football team. They have an excellent offensive coordinator who's is an awful head coach, but is a great offensive coordinator. Defensively, they get every ounce out of the players that they do have. But this is the team. This is the kind of team that the Seahawks they've got the job done against in the regular season. The only thing I can think of is that did they learn anything from the way the Rams have carved this defense open twice in a matter of weeks? Is there something to do there? And can the Seahawks, anticipate some of that in the 2 weeks they've got now in this game?
Well, I'm going to give you 2 thoughts on that. One, that the Patriots don't have a Puka Nacua or whatever. Like they don't have him, right? He's just built different, and they don't have, Bradford. I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, I like Drake May too, but I don't think he's going to be able to pick apart the defense the way he did. So I'm not saying I'm like super comfortable. I think Josh McDaniels is one of those offensive coordinators that just scare me, right? He is a really good offensive coordinator, and he can put a game plan together that can attack, weaknesses. So I think this is, I'm not going to go into the game super confident, but at this point, I think there's more chances. I think we have a better chance of winning this one than I thought we did against the Rams. So I feel more confident in that.
Adam is going to bow out at this point. It is 10-4 in the morning, and I massively appreciate you, Adam, for jumping on. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your morning, and I'm sure we'll speak in the week about this epic achievement.
Well, the number of super chats you've got to get through. If I leave the computer on and go to bed for about 8 hours, you might still have to be here reading them all out. So, but no, look, being a part of this community is the best, and hopefully we'll have another great one in a couple of weeks. But yeah, thanks everyone, and enjoy your night because you all deserve it.
Brilliant. Thanks, Adam. Thanks,
Cheers.
man. Adam Nathan there. Robbie and I will start. Robbie, I don't know how we're going to get through 52 super chats, but we'll
start chipping away, man.
We'll give it a go. Okay. Polynesian Prince says Rams are going to the Super Bowl. They'll be sitting in section 300. Go. I wonder where that was going, but there we go. Go Hawks. Brilliant. I like it. This one here from Chiz says 12 years since the last Super Bowl win. Absolute poetry. Is it 12? I suppose it's 12. It's 12 years since the last. It's 11 years since the last Super Bowl, isn't it? Because technically it went. So it's not quite. But it's Jackson Smith and Jigba's number. Maybe he's going to be the Super Bowl MVP. So that's a good thing as well. This one here from Sneaks. Really appreciate that massive super chat. Thank you. A ridiculously stressful game. It's 3:15 a.m., but I have the day booked off work tomorrow and a bottle of 20-year-old Tawny Port on the go. Things can't get much better until 2 weeks' time. Enjoy. That sounds absolutely fantastic. Do you know what, Robbie? I might have to go and have a little something myself after this.
Treat yourself, man. Treat yourself.
Treat yourself. And thank you so much for that super chat as well. This one from BN Canny. What's a 7-letter word for a dessert my wife will be making me? He always jumps on and mentions that his wife has made him some cookies, Robbie. We often have this. So I know what he means. The word he's looking for is cookies. And I think there may be another super chat relating to this later on. So thank you very much for that. Really appreciate that super chat there. This one says, great win and happy to see Darnold play outstanding. Do we need to worry about this defense against the Patriots? I think that's a conversation that we should have at some point in the next 2 weeks. I think tonight I'm going to not worry about it, but I think we probably will have to come back to that, Robbie, because they didn't play very well today, did they? But Sam Darnold and the offense stepped up to the plate. And maybe, Robbie, if the defense doesn't play that well in the Super Bowl, maybe the same thing will happen. Maybe.
Yeah. And I mean, that's going to be one of those stressors that we'll talk about, I'm sure, later. But yeah.
Albert says, does this T-shirt make me look fat? You will notice in his avatar, he is wearing a Seahawks draft log T-shirt. I might have to... I don't push the T-shirts and the hoodies much. I mean, they're there if people want them. But I might have to go and sneak out a little Seahawks draft log Super Bowl design of some kind this week and sort of offer it to the viewers to see if they are interested in any of that stuff. Thank you, Albert. Much appreciated. He's a massive supporter of the blog as well. So really appreciate it. A big part of the community in the comment section on the blog. Fat Pat says, Sam, JSN and Cup balled out when the Rams really stifled our defense. Been such a fun journey this season with you, and chat's going to struggle to think about anything for the next 2 weeks besides ring number 2. I hear every bit of that. That's exactly my mind's just gonna be like Super Bowl all the time for the next 2 weeks. David says it was a bad night for the Sam Darnold sees ghosts and the Rams have his number people. 25 for 36 for 346 yards and 3 touchdowns. Lots of NFL reporters scrambling for new talking points tonight. That's the thing. Well, the talking point they can scramble for is that he's addressed that now, because that was the thing. It wasn't even so much that can he win the big game or anything like that. It was the Rams. The Rams. He plays the Rams and he collapses, and that was an unreal performance. I'm trying to think, because Russ had some amazing games. Matt Haas had some amazing games, Robbie. And there's quarterbacks before my time that I'm sure have had amazing games as well. But for the moment and the situation, that Darnold performance surely has to be up there with the best quarterback performances in Seahawks history.
Yeah, I mean, he put us on our back. He put them on their back, right? I mean, he had to carry the team, carry the load. And I think for, the way he did it and the manner in which he held himself, in the pocket, he delivered some dimes, man. That was just phenomenal play tonight. And, like I said at the beginning of the podcast, like he really, he exercised those demons. And I heard it all week. That this was going to be the biggest thing, to the point that's why I kind of believed it. I was like, man, if we lose, it might be, he threw a pick, or, how many is he going to throw? He threw none tonight, threw 3 touchdowns. I didn't even think he came close to throwing a pick tonight. So great, phenomenal.
Murphy says, Rob, I have spent the last 2, I think he means seasons, living in India. Moved back just before the birth of my son last weekend. Your amazing content made all of those sleepless nights worth it. Thank you. Best week. Go Hawks. Thank you, Murphy. I really appreciate that, and a very generous super chat.
Congratulations on your son.
Exactly. Congratulations. Well said, Robbie. Odium says, we did not care. Like that line from Mike McDonald was unbelievable. On the, what is the thing about playing? Nobody expected you to win. We did not care. They just stopped talking. It was great. Effing love that, and find it better find its way onto a T-shirt. Yeah, maybe. I'm pretty sure Simply Seattle, somebody will be producing those pretty soon. I love all that. Robbie, I know this is maybe like a me thing. I freaking love all the merchandise stuff now. Like I'll be wasting a lot of money in the next week, like buying all of the hats and the T-shirts and the hoodies with like Super Bowl on it and stuff like that. I mean, obviously you want the ones that say Super Bowl champions as well after it's finished. It's just that's one of the little perks of being there, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I still have. I just wore my Super Bowl winning shirt that I got when I was in New York when we won. So I have that. So I'm definitely going to be rocking some. I saw them. I saw the black hats they were wearing for the NFC Championship game, and I thought I'm going to get one of those. But I buy all the hats, so it doesn't matter.
It won't surprise you that I will be buying another hat.
Yeah.
So there we go. This one from Kyle. Thank you, Rob, Adam, and Robbie for all the streams this season. Seahawks are going to the Super Bowl again. Oh, and thank you for not kicking a field goal on 4th down, McGenius, and making it a 1-point game. Did come up huge. The thing is that I understood, like, there's certain situations. I think situational football is being lost in the NFL. And in that situation, Robbie, I kind of understand why they went for it on 4th and 4. I'm not sure what I would have done. And the Seahawks did that long drive afterwards. So that kind of almost validates it, because if they'd have scored the touchdown there, you've set yourself up to like defend a lead and put the Seahawks under pressure. And if they kicked it, the Seahawks could have still just had the drive that they had, and that would have been the end of the game. But there are certain things, like I couldn't believe what Sean Payton did today. Like that to me, when you know the weather's going to be what it's going to be later on, I can't imagine that was a huge surprise that the snow came down. So I understand McVay there, but there's so many sort of instances where teams are just tying their own shoelaces together with all this going for it.
Yeah, my opinion. Take the points. Yeah. Take the points.
Especially in big games. PG 2824 says, Rob, I've followed you for years. Your article last week about just being a fan of the Hawks is one of your best. Here we are. So pumped. Got to watch the game with my boys. Beyond special. So glad we're all on this ride together as fans. I love that. Like, thank you for that extremely generous super chat. I just love that, Robbie. It is one of the sort of surprising things in my life that neither of my children are remotely interested in sport. So I have a 12-year-old and a 9-year-old as of next week. And neither of them care a jot about sport, even though it's like the main thing in my life. And there is like occasions like today that I wish they had a bit of interest so that we could share the moments. So when I see people sharing those moments with their kids and like just knowing that you'll be able to look back on that forever, I must admit, I think that's absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, both my boys like sports, but my oldest, he's the one who he really gets into it with me. My youngest kid, he likes to check the score once in a while, but he won't sit and watch a game with me. But even my oldest, he'll peace out pretty quickly. But he kept coming down every time he'd hear me screaming. But I will say, I'm going to comment on your article, Rob. It was actually really phenomenal. That was one of the best you've written. And I actually went out and watched that YouTube video of England playing and how everyone there celebrated together. So yeah, it was a good one.
No, I appreciate that, Robbie, and that's. I am quite not an emotional person really in life. Like maybe my wife might disagree, but when it comes to like big sporting games, for some reason I'm a massive wet lettuce. Like it's just like I can't. I really am like a complete wuss. It's embarrassing. CCW 1991 says 50 years, 50 buck. We're going to the Super Bowl. Rob, Adam, Robbie, let's enjoy all of it. But we're not done. Revenge game, and let's run the ball. Robbie, what will you be thinking if the game is on the line in the last 30 seconds and the Seahawks have possession, first and goal at the 5-yard line?
That run the ball.
Yeah, you have to like. You have to. Like,
you just don't. I like if you get stuffed, fine, but run the damn ball.
What if they run the same play and it scores? Like, oh man. Do you know what? That is the thing, though. Get ready. Like people need to be ready. I hate to be heavy down about this. You are going to see that freaking interception a million times for the next 2 weeks. You are not going to be able. Every single you're going to turn a little podcast on or a YouTube video or ESPN or whatever it is, and they're going to squeeze out another highlight of that Malcolm Butler play. We're probably going to hear from Malcolm Butler. We're going to hear from all of that stuff. It's going to be relentless. When they do the media stuff, Mike McDonald and Clint Kubiak and Sam Darnold and Ken Walker and Jackson Smith. Are you going to run the ball on? That is going to be rammed down your throat. And I really hope the comms team get everybody on point, on message for that, because it could end up becoming a pain in everybody's arse over the next 2 weeks. This one from the Warhammer guy. 2 weeks to soak it all in. Darnold having the best games of his career at the perfect time. Tore through 2 division rivals. Revenge in Ninerland. LFG. I love the fact the Super Bowl's in Santa Clara. I would love to win a Super Bowl there, Robbie. Like, if there's anywhere to win a Super Bowl, I'd love to win it there.
It'd be pretty freaking great. Pretty great. Yep.
206 Nate says Charles Cross had the best game of his career. He shut Verse and Young down. Sam Darnold is the franchise quarterback for the future. Thank you, Nate, for that. This one from Trey says, can we keep Darnold now, guys? Love you all. We have been patient. We've been optimistic and critical when needed, guarded and confident. We deserve this. The 12s deserve this. I think that is a fair reflection of how we've been, Robbie. Our sort of opinions over the years were only ever rooted in wanting what was best for the Seahawks, what we thought was best for the Seahawks. It was never about anything other than that. And some of the things that we said were considered to be like really negative or whatever. It was only just about wanting to get back to here, to get back to where we are right now. And it is so satisfying, Robbie, to be sat here now that it's happened. Like, it's really good. It feels really good. And everybody's like together again. And yeah, the abuse is low compared to what it used to be. And man, like some of the stuff people used to send in, and everybody's kind of like just happy and together. Like,
yeah. I mean, part of me gets it, right? I mean, you pick up a player or coach or someone like, Carroll, for example, it's like you ride or die. Like, it doesn't matter what's going to happen. That's your person. They took you to the promised land. They want to stick with that. But for us, it wasn't just about the player or the person. It was about the team as holistically as a whole. Like, this is what we're looking for. This is what we want. We wanted to get back to this place, right? So I think, what he just said there was perfect. Exactly what we've been.
The Comic Binge says the beginning of this was special. Take a bow, gents. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Appreciate all these super chats. So generous. Shane says, thanks, guys. Rob, you're the best. I appreciate this SDB group so much, and it's all due to Rob. I would say it's also due to Robbie and to Adam and to Curtis and everybody in that comment section. There's so many people there, especially all the people who had to suffer with me stress typing all the way through that game again for the 3rd game in a row. And I'll be doing it in the Super Bowl as well, just to let everybody know. Unless there's some way of getting over there, Robbie, then I will not be stress typing. That's going to be the thing now. Is like, what do you do? Like, when they got to the Super Bowl, the 2 other times, I never really sort of looked into it. I'm going to look into like how possible it is to get out there and see this thing, but I suspect it's not going to be possible because it's like the tickets will be amazingly expensive and the flights. Like, I can't imagine a flight to San Francisco is reasonably priced. I don't know whether it's going to be possible, but I will look into it. And but
I mean, look, I'm gonna look into tickets. I'm gonna I did it for New York. I tried to go to Arizona, just couldn't make it. Tickets never came down, so they were just ridiculously expensive. But I ended up flying into Vegas because flying into Phoenix was like really expensive. So I flew into Vegas. And I was like, oh, I'll just rent a car and go. And ended up tickets never came down. So I ended up going to like a UFC fight and caught a show there. And so I stayed in Vegas. But
that's not a bad plan. Like, if you were going to do it, like if you wanted to like maybe save some money, it's like fly to Vegas, drive. I don't know, sleep in the car. I don't know what you do. Whatever it takes, I suppose. But something to look into another time. Thank you, Shane, for the super chat. This one here from Sam. You all helped me follow this team better than I ever had. Since I became a Hawks fan in the 90s, thank you for your late night dedication, and I can't wait to see your excitement through the next 2 weeks and beyond. Cheers. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Appreciate those words. Mike says, OMG, woohoo, come to Vegas for the game. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that. It's funny that we've just been talking about that. I Brew Alet X says, I Brew Ale. Is that? I Brew Ale TX. Okay, cool. Sam put this team on his back when the defense needed it. Let's go. It's a great point. Great point. A very generous super chat. Really appreciate that one. Thank you very much. Noah says, amazing. Thanks for the coverage, and let's make the most of the next 2 weeks. Thank you, Noah. Sam reaches the Super Bowl before Baker, Allen, and Lamar. LFG. He does indeed. There's a lot of quarterbacks who never get to this game. A lot of quarterbacks who never get to this
game.
Yeah. He's going to have a chance to win one of these things. Man, that'd be so good. It is what it is. 1345 says the storyline is now set in place to reset it from the past. It is. It really is. Let's hope they do it. Can I just say, I absolutely freaking loved that Cam Chancellor was the one on the stage giving the trophy.
That was awesome. That was epic.
That was mad. Brilliant. This one from BN Canny. I'm going to make my wife cookies. Woolen gets none. So there we go. There's the follow up. I said there was another one coming. He's managed to pull it out of the bag. And Woolen, I would hope, would accept that he's not getting any cookies today. He should. That should be the least. I hope he apologizes for that. Like, he doesn't need to do anything too far, but he just, sorry guys, I promise not to do anything stupid in the Super Bowl. Like, I think he owes us a pick in the Super Bowl, maybe even a pick six.
I think he went up to McVay. He was like the first one to go after the game was over, and like it looked like he was apologizing to him for maybe what he was saying, but I don't know. Hope
so. Will Fry says, to overcome that taunting sequence was insane. It was. My head was a freaking mess during that. I'm so glad that's not the thing. K Sizzle says, thanks for everything, Rob and crew. LFG. Jeremy, Rob, here's $20 to buy yourself a suitable Seahawks mug. Go Hawks. I do have some Seahawks. I have a lot of like Seattle-based mugs. Like, I brought a lot of mugs back from Seattle over the years, but I do have a Seahawks one, a couple of Seahawks ones. Thank you, Jeremy. Much appreciated. Graham says, can't believe it. Flights getting booked to fly from the UK to watch the Super Bowl in Seattle with my fellow 12s. Love your work, guys. Enjoy that, Graham. That sounds fantastic. Grayson says, for the pints and the Kleenex, cheers, boys. Go Hawks. Yeah, there's definitely both of those things needed today. Max Morrison says, I'm the happiest man in the world. My first daughter born on this Hawks run. Go Millie, go Hawks. Let's finish it. Love the content, lads. I love all stuff like that. I love the fact that, you know, the way that sport like just connects itself to like moments in your life. And as I put in the piece, like the bookmarks, like you just know like what was going on when your team achieved something, or even when the heartache happens, you know where you were, who you were with, what you were going on in your life at the time. I remember all of that stuff with all of the England and the Seahawks stuff. So, you know, I think it's great that you've had that with your daughter being born. I certainly had that when my son was born with the 2013 season. Rain Starry says, McDonald's D really let down this game. McVay had his number. Thankfully, we've got a career game from Donald, indeed. Very generous super chat from Cisco. It's been a chaotic past year, and I've missed many of these streams, but this is why sport matters. I hope you guys and all who are watching truly enjoy the distraction this team gives us. Love to you all. Go Hawks. Cisco, thank you so much. That is some great words there, and a very, very generous super chat. Thank you very much for that. That's really appreciated. S the Great 32 says, shout out to the team. Mac is the effing man. JS is a Hall of Famer. The 12s are maniacs. Thank you guys for all your work. Bust out the cheese, Rob. It's tempting. It's tempting to go and get a block of cheese out, Robbie, at a time like this. Big Worm Germ says, appreciate all the great content you've put it throughout the season. You three are great, and Rob has held it down all year for this team. I still can't believe we are going to the Super Bowl. Neither can I. Unbelievable super chat here from Kay Kelly. Too happy to ask a coherent question. I've listened all year. This is payback. Thanks. Unbelievable. The generosity that this community shows and gives back is mind-blowing. Thank you for that. Nico says, Darnold outplayed Stafford in this game, and all we heard was the glazing of Stafford all game. Thank you for your super chats. Wife cookies and Cancun for McVay, says BN Canny. My wife makes me cookies every day. I'm glad she does. I hope she makes you some special ones for this. Mighty Stamp says, thanks for the great coverage over the years. Love how far our fellow Brit has come. Go Hawks from New Zealand. Go Hawks to all the Seahawks fans down in New Zealand and in Australia as well. I'm sure there's many, many of you down there. Chris Andrews says, I lost faith as a fan in 2019, remembering the beef we had during the Clowney debacle. This turnaround, I would have never, ever thought we could turn it around this fast after picking up Darnold. I think for me, Robbie, the lowest point was when Jamal Adams started sort of criticizing another journalist's wife on Twitter, and the Seahawks didn't really do anything about it. I remember thinking, I actually hate that. I find this disgusting. This is not anything that I want to be part of this team. And to know we've gone from that to this in like 2 years is absolutely crazy. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Okay, well, let's keep going through these. RH, he says, all we did was we get better every week. 3 phases. This team is so much fun, and McDonald is the real deal. Walker and Donald plus O-line better down the stretch. What a coaching job by the boys. Completely agree. One board one says, season ticket holder here. I'm going to cash in stock so I can see us win a Super Bowl in the Niners home field for retribution of not running on the one. Love it. Chris says, honestly, I didn't watch much of the regular season, but never stopped following or lost faith in this blog. Thanks to Rob for keeping the spirit alive for me. Love y'all. Let's get what's ours next week. Yep. Love it. The almighty Dagda says, time to get revenge on the Patriots. It's BTA time. Seahawks are going to drop Scunnion on them. It would be nice to see one final BTA this season, because that was not a BTA today, but it was good enough. Graham says, greetings from Dublin. K Walker surely tagged now. What do you think, Robbie? Do you think that? I mean, it's certainly possible they could do it. I can find the franchise tag numbers. Franchise tag
low, right?
So the
running
number
backs get paid much.
The projected number per over the cap is 14.1 million. So it's not 10 million. I mean, it really depends. If you think you can get him for 10 million a year, you might want to just do that to have the low cap hit rather than 14 for one extra season, because that sets it at 14 as a negotiating point there. The other thing you've got to remember here is they didn't have him in on any sort of pass protection situation. So as explosive as he was, they clearly don't think we can have this guy in like every down. There was a lot of George Alani snaps today, and you have to wonder whether that's a thing where like they want to pay somebody 10 million for that. But at the same time, if you lose him, and with Zach Charbonnet having an ACL, it doesn't sort of thin out the running back room. A problem to worry about in a few weeks' time.
I just got a big bummer.
What?
Message that's the Seahawks have already been drawing for season tickets. So if there's anybody on here who just got a text message that said you got season ticket or Super Bowl tickets, let me know. And I just got a text message that said your Seahawks are heading to the Super Bowl. Your package did not get selected as a ticket to take. So,
all right. So they're doing that already?
Yeah.
Okay. So they're telling you haven't got a ticket, basically.
They're selling I didn't get a ticket. Yeah.
That's kind of harsh to do it like so. Hey, enjoy the celebrations.
What's interesting, because they didn't do that before. They never said like you don't get tickets. You just don't find out. It's interesting.
Well, maybe Jody Allen is watching the stream later, Robbie, and she can. She was listening to our call earlier. Okay, this one from Matt Beyond Stoked. This is what it's all about, boys. All the work you put in and the team us fans sweat over for years. It's why you cannot celebrate enough tonight and hopefully for 2 weeks. Completely agree. Massively generous super chat here from Seahawks 3fan883. I love you, Rob. My son and I were going crazy during the game. We were going to get closure after that horrible loss to the Patriots 11 years ago. I love the sound of that. Love that comment. Really appreciate that huge super chat. It is much appreciated. The almighty Dagda says, also, Bobo was awesome, blocking, receiving, and that touchdown. I'm so happy for Bobo to finally get that touchdown. That's a great point, Robbie. Like Bobo getting another big play today. Like it's just something like appeared in the last 2 games. But that was a freaking amazing throw. Like Sam Darnold's, it's not just he got the touchdowns, Robbie. Those touchdowns, like at least 2 of them were when he was getting slammed, like taking a big hit and still able to get the throwaway. Including the one to Bobo.
Yeah, I think we've always liked Bobo. We've always thought good things. I mean, he just doesn't get much of an opportunity. But yeah, I mean, it was a great route. I think when they replayed it, they all shifted towards JSN and Bobo was wide open in the middle. But that was a phenomenal throw by Sam.
This one says, so fun to watch this team and your coverage. Bobo, says Corey Horton. Bobo getting a bit of love suddenly. The Polynesian Prince 97 says, thank you, Rob, Robbie, and Adam for a great season. This from Mike, not hearing much of the Sam Darnold is always asked. I think he means Vikings fans today. Yeah, I think the Viking fans, if anything, have been probably quite like looking on with envy, really, because of the situation that they've had. I don't think they've necessarily been slagging him off. Runny Lamp says MM is the only coach that chooses field goals, not 4th downs. He's not the only one, but certainly I really much prefer his approach than the other way. Rachie says also, Cooper Cup, just an insane game from a guy low on tire tread. Kubiak showed stones, and Cup's final third down conversion belongs in the Louvre. Agreed with that. Let's christen this era the McDonald era. Certainly feels like he deserves that. Mike Tripp says home field advantage or the Super Bowl. Short trip for the 12s. Cheers. Yeah, it's nice that like, I know, Robbie, you've said you've got that really disappointing text, but if you have got a chat, like it'd be great to sort of pack that out with Seahawks fans for this game if you can get there. And look, you never know. Like, you never know what opportunities might emerge with tickets.
Rob, I'm going to actually pause for a second. I may have misread that. I clicked on it too fast. It's actually giving me the option right now to buy the ticket.
Well, go on, buy a ticket. Go.
I may have won the lottery and gotten the lottery, and because but the other times I never got a text saying you didn't win the lottery.
Okay,
I know there. And
first things first, Robbie. Here's what I would do. Right, I'd just take a step back, and if you want to leave the stream and go and look at it, go for it, my man.
No. I'm gonna wait. Let's finish this. I'll check it afterwards.
But the thing is like, just make sure that it is a legit, like, text, email, all of that stuff.
I mean, it is. It's Seahawks.com. Like I had to like log into my account.
Don't give somebody in some country in the middle of nowhere
bunch of money. Here,
make sure you're actually trading for a ticket here. Well, you should do it, man. You should do it. You deserve the opportunity. Like, you deserve it, man. So go for it. I'm glad that's cheered me up a lot more, because I was like thinking, no, like, it's really weird text to send somebody. So that's really good. Okay, this from the almighty Dagda. Also, Perner's curse wheel comes true. Yeah, I've seen a few people talking about the curse wheel. He must have cursed the Rams. 4 for 4 when we get number 1 seed. Let's get this done. Also, Darnold haters can STFU. C Flap Flap says, can we start a GoFundMe for you and Robbie to get to Santa Clara? Listen, I don't. Please don't do that. Like, Robbie, I can't speak for Robbie. Like, I appreciate everybody in this community, but if I have an opportunity to get out there, I have to sort myself out with that. I have to. I would feel I shouldn't know. So let me sort of handle that. What I actually want from everybody is to subscribe and to read Seahawks Draft blog and a party tonight. That's what I want people to do. This from the unpronounceable username that we often get. When your coach's message of togetherness and connectedness permeates outside the locker room and into the fan base, then you know you have the right guy. Absolutely brilliantly said. Marky says, rounding up to $4.99, who do we backfill for Kubiak? That's one of those things I think we worry about. But Robbie, I noticed constantly Tom Brady just praising Clint Kubiak. Like, you could see he was like a proud father in that booth, like looking down, going, this is what I want. I'm telling you now, Robbie, Clint Kubiak's going to be the next coach of the Raiders. I think he is. But I also
be surprised.
I also noticed, like, there's a few things. So there was a few reports doing the rounds on Sunday talking about Kubiak to the Raiders. Jeremy Fowler talked about it. Jordan Schultz has talked about it. Tony Pauline was talking about it. But Tony said in his piece that the Seahawks were like putting on a full court press to try and convince him to stay. So we'll see. Like, it's hard because unless you're prepared to pay him $10 million a year, it's hard to keep somebody like that around. But I'm just telling you what Tony said. C Flat Flap says, what do you think about Emanwari getting after Woolen after the taunting? I wasn't a huge fan of all that stuff because I think once he's made the mistake, you kind of have to go, come on, get out there. Let's do this. Like, we're a team. Like, but all's well that ends well. It's just how I'm going to view everything to do with that play. This one from Jane Eric Jensen. I've been following SDB for years and it's made watching Seahawks so much fun. I am so happy for Rob that we are going to the Super Bowl. Can we please show our appreciation to him by crowdfunding his trip to Santa Clara in 2 weeks? I appreciate the thought and the gesture, but yeah, I really appreciate the super chats that you're all sending in. This from Take 610. Sherman was standing outside Lumen Field, pounding on the door, shouting, "Come through, come through." We did, Richard. We did for you and for all of us. Christopher Kennedy says, the iron price. Take it off a corpse you made. Let's go. There we go. The old iron price. That feels like a long time ago, that now.
Matt
Matt Burks,
whatever.
Matt Berkson says, might as well send Woolen off into the free agency sunset with a championship. Indeed, we may as well. Yeah, he make a play, man. You always a play in the Super Bowl. Sicko says, I started following when Wilson was traded. What a ride. What a game. Relieved and speechless. Let's go get that revenge. The final two, Robbie. We're nearly there. KJ Smith says, Northern California Hawk fan, was at 43.8, see profile pic. I'm getting my bike ready to ride to the trash dump of a stadium to take pics in my Seahawks jersey for all the Winer fans who live here. Thanks for all you do. You are the best. Thank you, KJ. I hope that you get a great picture like the one in your avatar there of celebrating another Super Bowl win, this time in Santa Clara. And the final one from Dan. Rob, I followed you religiously since 08 and I live in San Francisco. I'm buying tickets, want to go. Well, I do want to go, but I feel as if, yeah, I do. Well, I do want to go. And we all want to go. Everybody wants to go. But I think these are conversations to be had off air, maybe. But appreciate the super chat. Appreciate everything. Appreciate everybody who sent those in. Robbie, it's crazy, man. I can't believe it. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else after this game than speaking to you, my friend. I feel like we've been through it all together. So
I agree, man. I appreciate it. It's been phenomenal. What a ride. What a year. So good.
What a year. What a year. And now the only thing left to do is to go and win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So everybody, thank you for all of your messages. Again, I'm so grateful. I'm trying to see if there's been a few others. There's a few more have come in. Andre says, Rob, I know how much you put into our team. Let's celebrate. Thanks from Mexico. Thank you, Andre. Really appreciate that. And Dustin says, go Hawks. We did it and can't wait for the Patriots to throw trash on the goal line in the Revenge Bowl. Thank you, Dustin. Yeah, if there's one thing I could say is please, if you haven't already, subscribe, because I don't know what the plan's going to be. I am going to do a lot of streams. I am going to do a lot of things. Someone has said, where can I send over a t-shirt design to Rob? If you send a t-shirt design to Rob at Seahawksdraftblog.com, I will check it out, man. Thank you. Yeah, subscribe, because we're going to be doing a lot of videos, and you won't want to miss any of those. At least I hope not during this, because I know what I'm going to do, Robbie. I'm going to watch everything, like everything on YouTube about this game, everything on the TV that I can find. I'm going to watch everything. So if you are like me and are a bit of a sicko when it comes to this stuff, then subscribe and you will not miss any of our videos that we're doing on top of everything else that you're going to watch. Please like the video, leave a comment, even if it's just to celebrate away. And when we're all done and the stream's ended, if you could go onto an app or a tablet or whatever it is and hit the hype button, that would be much appreciated as well. The Seahawks, I've got one last super chat. So Ocean says, live in Seattle, but moving to the UK this summer after the Super Bowl parade. Of course, we're married in Scotland. Worried about missing the Hawks fandom. Suggestions, Rob? Well, there's a lot of Seahawks fans in the UK. You will be able to watch all of the games, because I do. And you'll probably meet other people if you're moving to Scotland. If you are, well, it depends what part you move into UK, but if it's like London, Edinburgh, like that, there's a lot of Seahawks fans over here, so you will feel very welcome. And if you're anywhere near Yorkshire, you can always drop by and I will buy you a cup of tea. So there we go. Thank you to everybody. The Seahawks are in the Super Bowl. I can't believe I'm saying it. I just feel surreal. I feel like I'm going to wake up in a second. Wow, amazing. Thank you, everybody who is watching this. Go and celebrate. Go and enjoy it. Enjoy and live through this moment, please. Robbie, thank you for everything, man. I'll speak to you soon.
Sounds good.
And to everybody, enjoy those celebrations. Until next time, bye for now.